I want to start today with something that has now come up a few times. Most recently, it came up in a Reddit post. I'm going to show it to you, and it has everything to do with Joe Biden. User Dave CC said a thing that David keeps saying, but I believe is inaccurate. He, meaning me, he mentions from time to time that it doesn't bode well for Trump because he's not gaining new voters and some are leaving. That's true. But what's left out is the fact that Biden is also losing voters, young people disgruntled with the Israel war, black voters, Muslim voters, Hispanic voters, etc. Who is losing more is the question. Biden is losing from more groups, so it may be that Biden is at a net loss compared to Trump. Since you look at the slim margins that Biden won in swing states, it is not looking promising. For example, if young voters and Muslims leave Biden for supporting Israel, Biden is toast. Also, if Biden does not support Israel, the other side of the conflict will leave Biden. So it is lose-lose on that subject. Time to panic? Maybe. So where is this person right and where are they wrong? This sort of commentary is right in that you must consider not only has Trump gained or lost support, but has Biden gained or lost it. If you look just at Trump in 2020, you say, as Simon Rosenberg told us yesterday, you have Trump from 2020 who lost, now charged with 91 felonies, found to be a civilly liable rapist, found to have defrauded the state of New York and may lose his business license there, all these other things. So clearly, Trump must have lost support. 35% of New Hampshire Republicans say they won't vote for him. But on the other hand, you have to consider the Biden question. Now, to be very clear, we are speculating here. This is all speculation, but my speculation does not coincide with what this viewer is saying. It is true that Joe Biden faces challenges in maintaining support with some groups, and that includes young people, black voters, Muslim voters, Hispanic voters. Sure. OK. Discontent with U.S. policy towards Israel. It may influence some voters, although I think the number will be small. So first, zoom out. Is anti-Trumpism as a voting motivator bigger or smaller than anti-Bidenism? We know anti-Bidenism exists in that Republicans hate the guy. Some Democrats say, I'm disaffected with Biden. Yeah, there are slices of the electorate saying I'm angry with Biden over Israel. But do you really think when you zoom out that there is a larger anti-Biden movement that's going to go out and vote Trump to spite Biden or stay home, even though there's a great economy, because they're upset about Gaza? I'm not saying they don't exist. What I'm saying is, if you think about it deeply, the people most upset about Biden's handling of Israel are young voters who are the least likely to vote anyway. And they're saying, I guess they're saying they'll stay home or they might vote Trump. It's not going to be a major factor. Now, on the other hand, you have 35% of all New Hampshire Republicans in exit polls saying, I'm not voting Trump in November. Voted in the primary, I'm not voting Trump. That's 35% of the entire Republican primary voting public, including both Republicans and independents, and obviously the small sliver of Democrats that voted in that primary. You look at Iowa, the people who voted Haley overwhelmingly are not going to vote Trump. And many of them are saying we will vote for Joe Biden if Haley is not the nominee. These are dramatically differently sized groups. The anti-Trump movement is dramatically bigger than the anti-Biden movement. Secondly, I'm not actually seeing any evidence that Joe Biden is really losing voters the way it's being portrayed. It is true that every president who runs for re-election loses some people who voted for them the first time. They're disaffected. They're not going to do it the second time. I don't deny there are people angry with Biden over, I guess, Gaza and beyond that areas Biden hasn't done enough with. But as Simon Rosenberg told us yesterday, when you look at young people, the people who seem most upset with Biden about Gaza, even they aren't saying that foreign policy is most or even at all important to them. And a lot of them don't even vote. Look at New Hampshire. Biden wasn't even on the ballot. Biden was a write-in in New Hampshire. He didn't even campaign in New Hampshire. And he got 56% of the vote in a multi-way race, including against Dean Phillips, who focused on New Hampshire for months and months and ended up with 19 or something like that. and was officially on the ballot. Biden didn't campaign, wasn't on the ballot, and still got 56% of the vote. That is a signal, if I've ever seen one. On the other hand, Trump picked judges who got rid of Roe v. Wade. And since then, Republicans have lost everything. Women are rightly furious. They're going to come out for Biden, including some Republican women. But honestly, more than who is mad about Roe versus who is mad about Gaza, a lot of this is about turnout. A lot of this is about turnout. I struggle to believe that in large numbers, voters who would typically vote for the Democrat are going to go for Trump, go third party, or stay home because they aren't as happy as they could be with Biden, or because of Gaza, or because he hasn't done enough on cannabis or whatever, when he, number one, has done so much on infrastructure, healthcare, student debt, manufacturing, climate, and also because people understand what's at stake if Trump is president. He's offering nothing that will improve the lives of Americans, and he is promising to be an authoritarian lunatic and to go back to the same failed strategies of his first 4 years. So I'm not saying no one will do it. There's 330 million people in this country. Not all of them vote, right? But, registered voters, et cetera. You're going to find people who do everything. People who voted Trump twice and stay home. People who voted Biden and vote Trump. You will find individuals who did all of these things. I really struggle to believe that this election is going to be determined by Biden would-be voters staying home for whatever reason. So we would like to see better polling. There's no reason to panic. There's no reason to assume Biden's got this. We say, hey, the economy's pretty good. We've all got to get out and vote. Biden is making a strong case for his reelection based on all the economic data and other accomplishments. And that's where we are. When I'm doing any kind of my work, prepping for the show, whatever it might be, I love a standing desk, an adjustable desk that can go up or down for sitting or standing. It gets the creative juices going. It's good for your health. There's really no substitute. And the one I've been using for years is the one from a company called Uplift Desk. I love it so much. We asked them to become a sponsor. I've tried multiple standing desks from different companies. Uplift Desk is the only one that I really feel is sturdy and solid when it goes up and down. You can try to shake it, put weight on it. It just doesn't wobble. Lots of other things set Uplift Desk apart as well when you shop for a standing desk. Everything is customizable. The material, the size, the color, the wheels. I have the huge one with no wheels, for example. Wire management accessories. They really offer everything. Uplift Desk has been chosen as the New York Times best standing desk for the last 4 years. They have 4.9 stars on Google. I've been a longtime customer. You will love it. I am sitting at one of these right now. I use it to record the show every day. My audience will get 5% off at upliftdesk.com/Pacman. Use the code Pacman5. The link is down below.